The best up-and-coming games 2024. Welcome to Gaming Clash. If you enjoy this type of content, then subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any of our latest and greatest uploads. Are you ready for a gaming revolution? 2024 is the biggest year yet for video gamers, with some of the most anticipated titles scheduled for release. From classic franchises getting an overhaul to brand new games that promise to push boundaries and offer unprecedented levels of immersion, there's sure to be something on everyone's wish list. Get ready to explore vibrant virtual worlds, solve mind-bending puzzles, and join in epic battles against friends and foes. Here are just a few fantastic video games coming out in 2024 that every gamer should look forward to. Number 5. Civilization VII. This is one of the top games coming out in 2024. Civilization VII will be the latest installment in the long-standing series of turn-based strategy video games. Players take control of a nation's fate in this iteration and guide it from a primitive hunter-gatherer society to an advanced and prosperous technological superpower. This version has many new features, such as fathoming artificial intelligence that makes the game more immersive than ever. Players must establish diplomatic relations with others, manage trade routes, and carefully maneuver their nations while collectively struggling against rivals. Diplomacy is much more intricate in this version, allowing players to make binding alliances or agree upon deals that can forever affect their nation's fate. The new building crafting feature will enable them to construct unique custom buildings based on their faction, adding further complexity to the dynamic gameplay. With beautiful graphics and excellent sound design, Civilization VII promises an unforgettable experience for casual and hardcore gamers. Number 4. Ghost Shadow. Life can be a mystery, especially for Jason, our hero in the game Ghost Shadow. He finds himself in a fourth dimension, needing to collect all the pieces of his mind to get an answer and find the door out. As he journeys through each level of this puzzle strategy game, he discovers new stories and paths toward unraveling their secrets. One level might require him to use tactical moves with powerful weapons, while another could involve exploring someone else's consciousness. Regardless of actions on each pathway, they all come together to complete the larger story. Even though every level provides its unique set of tasks and mechanics, they're unified by a dreamlike atmosphere that encourages players to explore Jason's shadow state and have fun. Number 3. Black Myth: Wukong. The Chinese developer Game Science is set to launch Black Myth: Wukong, a Souls-like game based on the Chinese novel Journey to the West, in the summer of 2024. The game has received significant international interest, and a new short film has revealed its launch date in a unique way, featuring a stop-motion bunny. In the film, a young rabbit tries to install the game on an out-of-date PC, but years pass before the aging rabbit finally gets to play it. Although fans have to wait a long time for the final game since its initial reveal in 2020, the 2024 release year is now confirmed. The developer has a history of releasing unusual trailers, including a parody video featuring motion capture for cats, but has also faced criticism for misogyny and male-dominated workplace culture. Additionally, the year 2023 is the year of the rabbit in the Chinese zodiac, which is why the rabbit is featured in the video. Number 2. Greedfall 2: The Dying World. Spiders, the developer of the 2019 role-playing game Greedfall, has announced its sequel called Greedfall 2: The Dying World. The game takes place 3 years after the events of the original, where players assume the role of a Tier 4 native, the first game's island setting, who is captured and taken to the continent of 𝐥𝐤𝐤. The nation of 𝐥𝐤𝐤, home to the invading colonists, has fallen due to a deadly plague and political infighting between various factions, and it is up to the player to prevent this unfamiliar land and their home from being destroyed. Similar to the first game, players can choose between diplomacy or aggression to solve problems, and Greedfall 2 promises new mechanics and more tactical combat. However, Spiders has not provided any further information about these new features. The developer is currently working on Steel Rising, an action RPG set during the French Revolution, which is set to release in September. As a result, Greedfall 2: The Dying World is not expected to arrive until 2024 for PC and unspecified consoles. Although the first Greedfall had some interesting concepts, it ultimately left players wanting more. Fans are curious to see how the sequel will build upon the foundation of the original game. Number 1. Enemy of the State. Brave Lamb Studio, a Polish game development company, has announced the release of its upcoming crime shooter Enemy of the State, scheduled for mid-2024. Set in the Prohibition-era United States, the game is based on the violent gang wars that took place during the 1920s. The trailer depicts a fierce standoff between two rival gangs during a bank heist. The game promises to have locations across the globe with a stylized noir world of the 1920s as its backdrop. Enemy of the State is being developed by industry veterans who previously worked on games such as Dying Light and Shadow Warrior. The studio's Steam page reveals that the game will offer both cooperative and single-player capabilities, with multiplayer as a significant component. The tagline, "Gather your friends and perform heists all over the world," further emphasizes this. The game's story is based on the player's ascent through the ranks of the criminal underworld, starting as a low-level criminal and working their way up to become a mafia boss. The game is likely to have a progression system that allows players to advance through the game's ranks. Enemy of the State is still in development, with a trailer revealing a release date in mid-2024. Early prototype footage of the game being played from a top-down perspective can be seen in the trailer's conclusion. Fans of crime shooters and games set in the 1920s will no doubt be eagerly anticipating this upcoming release from Brave Lamb Studio. And with that, we've reached the end of this video all about the best up-and-coming games 2024. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for content just like it.